This is the Fitzy and Whipper with Kate Ritchie podcast.
Maybe you have to spend some of your weekend with the in-laws.
It does happen on school holidays too.
Well, it does, and it's a hard situation to be in because you
More
may
like the
not.
bloody outlaws.
Yeah,
am I right,
well,
guys?
yeah, ha ha ha. You may not be
Thanks, Jess.
massive fans of the in-laws, but you need them as well.
Oh, they're great.
It's lovely to have grandparents in the kids' lives. I agree. But sometimes a mother-in-law's relationship with her son can get a little bit creepy, and that's why I want to hear from you this morning.
Mother-in-law and son.
Yeah, because I do think, and I mean, this is not me saying this at all, but I do think that some mother-in-laws can be very close to their children, and when it comes to the daughters, that's a given in some ways.
Yep.
But with the sons, they are the woman in the son's life, and I think sometimes they find it hard to see another woman come into their life, their son's life, and almost steal them away a little bit. They continue to try and put their stamp.
Yep, this is how we do things.
On the life of their son. 13 24 10 if you've had this experience, or if it's got as creepy as this. This story is absolutely wild. The headline is, "My mother-in-law is so in love with her own son, she sees me as the other woman." Now, this woman has called out the creepy mother-in-law for the way that she behaves around her husband. She doesn't think it's kind of a normal mother and son relationship. She thinks it's a bit obsessive. So they've been married for 9 years, and she says, "My mother-in-law is in love with my husband. His mother has always made me feel uncomfortable by the way she talks to him and feels about him. She comments on how sexy of a man he is. She talks about how firm his skin is, his jawbone, and she tells me," wait for this one, "she tells me that our children look like her and him made babies."
Ooh.
Yeah. The other thing that this mother-in-law does, so her husband's mother, she comes in and out of the home as she feels.
Right.
So she doesn't live with the son and the daughter-in-law, but she obviously has access to the house and
She's got a
wanders
key.
in like it's her place. They'll find her in the kitchen making a cup of tea. And I have to tell you this story, which will illustrate once again how creepy it is. She said that one day her and her husband were going off to bed of an evening, and they'd turned the light out, and all of a sudden they heard this wailing coming from in the hallway. They turn the light on, and the mother-in-law is standing in the doorway of the bedroom, like just sobbing and saying what an awful day she was. And of course, they're caring people. They want to know if she's okay.
Yeah, what's happened?
And the mother-in-law shuts down the daughter-in-law and says, no, I'm fine. I've just had an awful day. And then asks the son to come and lay down with her. I don't know if this bit's made up, because this is where it
can't
gets.
be.
Okay, I believe this bit. Can you come and lay with me? I believe that bit. I also believe this bit. While I hold you. Okay? At a stretch, but I still believe it.
What are they, spooning?
I'm not sure about this bit. She then goes on to say, "And let me smell your hair." Now, I don't think that Mum has really come to the doorway and said, "Please come and lay with me while I hold you and smell your hair." But you never know. It might remind her of, the early days when she had a brand new baby. Maybe the son still smells like a little
Oh,
bubba.
my God. I've had such a bad day. Oh, now I feel better. That is 100% weird.
Look, I don't have a son. Probably will never have a son, so I am not claiming to know how difficult it is when you bring up a child and they turn into a man, and then basically another woman comes along into your life and they become the most important person. Up until that point, as the mother, you have been the most important woman in their life. They listen to everything, and now you've got this other woman muscling in on your territory.
Will a man ever be good enough for May? Do you know what I mean? Or a girl? Who knows? I mean, will May ever have a partner that is good enough for you?
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Well, maybe not, but I certainly wouldn't make her life miserable because of my own judgment, because I do think meddling in-laws can make life incredibly hard and put necessary strain on
Yep.
relationships. You have to draw a line in the sand sometimes.
On the flip side, I find my mother-in-law quite attractive. She looks a bit like Sandra Sully, Deborah, and she loves a vacuum, loves a sweep. I'll tell you what, she is handy around the house.
Oh, so you like a pretty blonde who does chores. Oh, my God. Do you even know what you're saying?
Stop labelling me.
Please give us a call so I don't have to listen to Whipper stories. I would much prefer to listen to yours if you've got a bit of a meddling mother-in-law. Vanessa in Macquarie Fields. Good morning, Vanessa.
Good morning. How are you?
Oh, not too bad. Have you had this kind of experience yourself?
Yeah, so I was with someone for 6 years, and it was just, the relationship was just over the line. Like, to the point that, it was just cringe. It was to the point that, she would go in and have a bath, and he would just go in and then have a conversation. He'd be brushing his teeth, and you could see everything.
Why Mum was lying in the bath?
Yeah, and she would call me in to have a conversation. So then it was really awkward because it's like I felt I had to go in, but then it was just uncomfortable.
So all three of you in the bathroom while
having a conversation.
While Mum's having a bath.
Yeah, it's a bit weird.
Yeah.
Well, some people are more comfortable with their bodies and nudity in the house than others, but you're saying it was a slightly strange
that's weird.
mother-son
Well,
thing.
it was also weird because he would joke around and go, "Oh, titties," and he'd squeeze a tit like a boob.
Well, we understand titties.
I love that you clarified that because, I love that you came out with the big guns because we were sitting here thinking you were just a bit prudish, Vanessa, but now you've really cemented the
I'd
deal.
written you off as dead boring, Vanessa, to be honest, but now that you've said that. So,
what else have you got for us, Vanessa? Surely there was something else.
We'd watch a movie all together, and she would be, she'd call him over and she'd play with his hair, and I'd be sitting there.
She'd play with his hand?
No, his hair. He'd lay on a lap and she'd play with his hair, and I'd be sitting on the other side of the couch.
Oh, Vanessa. Okay, one more. Come on, you've got to have another one.
Vanessa, can I just ask, going back to that? Oh, no, go on. You tell your one.
So every time, say, we'd go out for something, she would always, tag along, and he'd feel sorry for her because, she was always alone. So she'd always, on our dates, she'd come along with us.
Vanessa, can I ask just the moment of when she suggests he comes over and squeezes her or touches her breasts?
He used to play around and go, titties.
Oh, yeah.
You've said it again.
Yeah, that's how he used to do it. It was just so weird.
Was she in the bath at that point, or had she gone out and was dripping dry?
And then
she had clothes bit at least.
And then what would
she had her clothes on. This is like when she's making a cup of tea in the kitchen. He comes up behind her.
Yes.
And then what does he do?
What is your wife?
He'd hug her and grab her and go, titties, and I was like,
you don't.
It was just so weird. I'm not with him now, thank God, but it was just a strange
he's with his mum, isn't he? Oh, my God.
This is too funny.
He doesn't need yours. He's got his mum's.
Oh, my God.
That is so bizarre.
Fits in Whipper with Kate Ritchie is a Nova podcast. For more great shows like this, download the Nova Player via the App Store or Google Play.
The Nova Player.